Roger Tomas, assistant coach here at the University of Miami. I just want to take you guys through the whole stadium. We've done a lot of renovations, and a lot of you guys want to see what we've done, so I'm going to do the honor and take you guys through it. This actually used to be the old clubhouse. Very, seems like it's underground, but this used to be the old dugout when I played here a few years back, and now it's actually, we have the home bathroom and also a small training room for our trainers just for games. In here used to be the old clubhouse, and now it's basically storage and also the equipment, our baseball ops guy's office. So you come in here, let's see if he's in here. Yes, he is. Mr. GM. Locker room. This is Robert McDaniel. He's the baseball ops guy. He takes care of all the equipment and our travel plans and all that stuff. But this is his office, and this before used to be the old training room. And as you can see, I mean, it's a very nice office, sofa and TV and everything. He gets well taken care of because he takes care of us. Over here used to be the old his old office, and this is now basically the laundry room where he stores all the uniforms. As you can see, we have bats, jerseys, pants even from the early 90s. We keep all that stuff just so we can do giveaways, raffles, auctions, anything you can think of. We always keep our stuff. Over here used to be the old coach's locker room. I don't even know the number.
Zoom, 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 zoom. I got my mind made up. Come on, zoom, zoom, zoom.
Used to be the old coach's locker room here. This is another basically storage room now. Nobody really uses this. Actually, I'm lying. During actual games, the umpires. This is the umpires' room, and there's actually showers in here, and also. It's rather small. There's one shower. And also, this used to be the video room, which obviously we've upgraded. I'll show you guys in a little bit. And there we just store merchandise for them to sell during games out there. But like you said, it's very, very small. But it got the job done, especially in the 90s, you know.
Man, don't you know that I'm loco?
I do. This used to be the old players' locker room. It's very hard to really understand because now there's 3 different rooms. But basically, from this wall, if I open, maybe you come this way until that wall, basically like a small rectangle. It used to be the old players' locker room. Now this is the head grounds crew's office. In that room, there's storage. And this is still the main AC for the whole building, the Ron Fraser building. In here used to be our shower heads, and there's not much going on here. It's actually basically storage, as you can see. Very hard to picture how it used to be and what it is now. But like I said, it was something that. Players came here because of the tradition, not so much because of the facilities. Now they come for both. If we go this way, we'll go around back and show you the batting cages.
Hi.
Right now, obviously, as you can see, our batting cages are. We're in the process of trying to redo them. That's one of the last things that we're trying to do to the stadium. As you can see, they're outdoors. We're trying to make them indoors. We're trying to raise some money for it. As you can see, we have 4 long cages, and we're the type of program that we don't need much. We get enough with what we have here, but because of the rain and where we're at, being South Florida, the roof is just going to add. Not only a view for the fans, but for us, we get more work done. A lot of times because of the rain, we don't get much done, and if we do, it's very little. So hopefully, in the next couple of years, we're going to get it done, and it'll help out obviously our team. If we go this way, I'll show you the new bleachers that we had. Obviously, they've been put in. I think this is the 2nd year they've been put in. See, when I played here,
they were a lot smaller, a lot shorter, and they were made of wood. I feel like with these, obviously, I think they're a lot safer, but two, they're a lot more comfortable. You get a better view of the field in general. I think one of the best things that we have here is that a general admissions ticket. You can sit basically anywhere in the ballpark, and you're going to have a great view regardless. I think that's one of the things that you get as far as coming to a college baseball game, especially here at Miami. Right now, as you can see, they're working on the field. Basically, once our fall season ended, we basically gutted out the whole field, and the main reason for it is so we can level off the field. Everything you see on this field right there is brand new. I think they put in about $200,000 into it. Everything is, grass, dirt, the warning tracks, the mound. Everything is brand new, and not only is it going to look a lot better than what it used to, it's going to play better, but more importantly, it's going to drain better. They have a new sort of drain system to where it's going to hold water a lot better, and it's going to drain a lot quicker than what it used to. Even though we have 4 or 5 guys here during games taking care of the field and stuff, it just helps them out too. But not only that, like I said before, it's when you have a new field out here, it just helps out the fans coming out here, and it gives it the ballpark a better look in general. Also, that stadium is 1 year old too. I think they spend roughly $600,000 on it, and it's video. There's actually 2 video things that you can put during games, and we'll have feedback on games prior to that, some highlights, somebody hit a home run, they'll show it and stuff. So we've definitely updated the scoreboard on what it used to be. Before that, the scoreboard was, I want to say, about 15, 20 years old. We hadn't updated it, and that's one of the things that we updated with the renovations of the field.
Hey, bring it back. Now double your money and make it stack. I'm on to the next one. On to the next. On to the next one. On to the next. On to the next one. On to the next. On to the next one. On to.
Well, this is the home dugout. For a lot of people that really don't understand what it is to be a Miami player, this is where. I don't want to say a bond, but this is where it all happens. This is where the magic starts. This is where you start thinking about Omaha. This is where you start thinking about the regionals, wanting to play at home in the regionals, super regionals, and you got to meet certain goals in order for that to happen. A lot of our team meetings are here, so a lot of the stuff that we do as a team, as far as talk, whether it's individually, one-on-one, coach and player, or a couple kids, or Coach Morris wants to talk to the team, we do it out here. And it's just a sense of when you get into this dugout, you feel all the presence from the past players. You feel it, and not only when they come, but when they give speeches. And it's something that's really hard to describe. It's one of those things that you really have to come out here and experience it for yourself. But you see, in a regular game, obviously this thing will be filled not only with players, but sometimes we'll have past players. The coaches sit on the other end. We have, the bat rack and the helmet rack on that side. We'll have our training staff over here on this side towards the end with the Gatorade and stuff like that. But the good thing about how it is now is that with the old dugout, and it's hard to explain. We didn't have steps. We didn't have a closure. So now, because of this new dugout, now the players, whether we're on offense or defense, can come out here and feel like they're part of the game. Whether they're playing, whether they're hitting at the time, whether they're not, whether it's their turn to go out there or not, they're always feeling like they're right in the game because they're basically right on the field. Whereas before, the dugout was farther back and it was always open, so you almost got to sit back, in case of foul balls. I think that's one of the things that I think I liked when I played here, which I actually played 1 year with this dugout. It makes it a lot easier for me. I'm the first base coach to walk over there. See, these seats are part of the new renovations, going along from the first base side all along to the third base side. And the first row is actually underneath ground level, which is something that you don't really see in other ballparks. So I think that adds to the actual ballpark and something I know kids enjoy, like being there. You know, a lot of times they might get kicked out or not, but if it's not a crowded game, I should say, sometimes they can sneak in, and I know they like being right on the field. That goes back to what I was saying with the dugout, being close to the field enough to where you feel like you're in the game, whether you are or not. In the old ballpark, right here above the third base dugout, actually used to be the old press box. And basically, I'm sure it was made of concrete, but it looked so old that it looked like it was made of wood. But anyway, they put in these new bleachers, and I think they're really cool. When they first put them up, I actually figured myself as figuring that these bleachers were made for our students, so they can get the other team a little rowdy. But as games have gone on, basically the visiting side sits there. When they come in, they get a certain amount of tickets, and it's all general admission, so they can basically sit anywhere they want. But obviously, they want to be closer to their team, whether it's their son or they're one of their family members. So they'll basically sit there, depending on also the sun, because on Sundays it does get hot, and they'll also use this part of the general admission side. But again, I think it's one of those views that for the price that you get for general admissions, you can't beat it. You're basically right on the field. You get to see the game. You're not missing out. You don't get blocked by any views. And that goes for the entire ballpark. You can sit anywhere in this ballpark, and you will never get blocked by some kind of pole or fan or anything like that. You got the best view out here to enjoy the game. We're going to go down this line over here and talk about basically the same as we had over there, but they also have a picnic area that they used to have before, but I think they've used them now more, just because now they're upgraded a little bit. They're underneath those big trees, which provide a lot of shade. But they have birthdays, they have get-togethers. I mean, people rent those out, and it's very useful because ultimately everything that gets put into this facility, as far as money, goes back to our program. So it just helps everybody out. We'll go around this way and go into the building now. Well, I mean, I think that's the older crowd, and those are the people that I call the Yankee fans, because no matter, it's basically like they live and die by no matter what happens in that year, no matter what kind of problems you've had throughout that year, as far as losing a player to injury or losing players to the drafts for the next year. No matter what happens, I think those are basically your true fans. Those fans that get it. The fans that they might have not gone to the University of Miami, but they understand what it means to be a Miami Hurricane, and they'll be here whether it's raining, whether it's lightning, whether it's sunny, whether it's whatever the case may be, no matter where. And a lot of them travel. A lot of them will go as far north as Maryland to come watch us play. And it just goes to show you the tradition that has been set from the beginning, from Ron Frazier up until Coach Morris now, and whoever takes his spot 10 years from now. So everything out here, basically to the right of me, everything is brand new, absolutely brand new. The whole building's brand new. Everything that we're going to go through as far as rooms, and I'll explain what each room we use for, is brand new. Right over here is our new weight room. It's not big. It's about 950 square feet. But it's meant for a reason. Our whole weight room program is based on team bonding, but at the same time we don't all go in there as a team. Basically, we break them up, hitters and pitchers. So there's, going back to the whole 900 square feet, there's plenty of room for what Jimmy Goins, our strength coach, does. Obviously, he does a good job, and the kids love it. The one good thing about having the weight room down here is the fact that our locker room is within walking distance, where before we didn't have a weight room down here. We had to walk all the way to the Heck Center, and it made it a little inconvenient. A lot of times when kids want to do extra stuff, it's kind of like when you're at that age where, I don't know if I want to walk down there and walk back and stuff. Now it's right here for you, and Jimmy's always here, so they'll do the extra stuff, that stuff that might put you over the top. Along the concourse, obviously, we have bathrooms. We have 4 concession stands that are right now closed. Each concession stand holds 2 TVs, and what's good about it is that during games, they'll actually show the game. So if you're in a long line waiting for food, you can actually see what's going on out on the field, much like a pro park does. This basically is a wall of contributions. Obviously, Alex Rodriguez is our main contributor, but he's not the only one. Obviously, everybody knows him because of who he is, and maybe the fact that he gave the most amount of money. But Paul and his wife gave an enormous amount of money, and I think the family and Jimmy Claus and Lois Kerr, all these people that you see on this wall gave money for a reason, and not just to put their name up on the wall. They could care less, but it was more because they love the university, they love the program, and they want to see this program get better. A lot of times, the reasons why programs get better has a lot to do with facilities and bringing in the right kids, and kids from a lot of places that have no idea what it is to be here at the University of Miami, the tradition it carries. And a lot of times, having a facility like this does help out a lot, bringing in a kid from the Northeast or from California. So definitely thanks to those people, and a lot more that maybe their names are not up there.
Let me get my ticket, baby, let me get in line. I can tell the way you like it, baby, super size. Hold on, you got yours, let me get mine. I ain't living till they turn over the clothesline, check it.
Take my order, cause your body like a carry out. Let me walk into your body till you hear me out. Turn me on, my baby, don't you let me out. Turn me on, my baby, don't you let me out. Take my order, cause your body like a carry out. And let me walk into your body till it's lights out. Turn me on, my baby, don't you let me out.
Alright, this is the brand new locker room. About 2 years old, going on 3. We can turn on these lights here. Here we go. Whoa. This is the new coach's locker room, right here. A little bit different. Obviously, everything's a little bit upgraded. The lockers are a little bit bigger. Coach Morris has his too. Then myself and Joe and JD, and obviously we have everything we need in here. We have a small little fridge for drinks, and a little table, so when coach is writing out the lineup or we're talking about something, we need to write notes down. Obviously we have a TV here with everything that we need. A lot of times after games we have tape of the following days, either pitcher or hitters for JD or myself and Joe. So we'll watch it here. We won't go upstairs, even though we do have access to it upstairs as well. But sometimes it's a little easier once you've gone through a whole day of working with the kids and the actual games. You're a little tired. You don't want to go upstairs. We can access it here. Well, this is the new training room. I'm not sure why the lights aren't on. There we go. It's obviously a lot bigger. We have 3 beds here that it's access to the kids. We have 2 whirlpools here to my right, your left. The one on the left is hot. The one on the right is cold. Usually for cold is usually done for soreness, and for hot is to warm your muscles up. So basically, the hot is pre-game stuff, and the cold is after. If you have any kind of swelling or anything like that, this would be Ron, our athletic trainer's office. I'm sure it's locked, but he's also got a bed in there that an actual doctor during games, if you get seriously hurt or you get dehydrated or stuff like that, they'll actually go in there and make it more private as opposed to being out here. And they have all updated electronic stuff, from stem machines to ice machines to anything that you need to get our kids ready on game days and even on practice days, because practice is definitely just as important as game days. This is the new student athlete clubhouse, and it was donated by Jimmy Claus, which is a good friend of Coach Morris and myself now that I've been in the program for a while. Really nice guy. But as you can see, we're talking about probably 4 or 5 times what the old clubhouse was. Right here we have some trophies here. I think there's the ACC championship, and I think the national championship, the 99 and 01, are upstairs in the coaches' offices in the Ron Fraser building. But as you can see, everybody's got their own locker. Everybody gets enormous amounts of equipment, from pants, jerseys, gloves, batting gloves, bats. Nike does a great job, man. They got a great product. Myself, even outside the baseball aspect of my life, I wear Nike when it comes to feeling comfortable and going out and playing other sports or at home or anything like that. They have great products, so we definitely take full advantage of that. I know our kids love Nike and they appreciate what they do for us. One thing we have here that we never had in the old locker room is this U baseball logo here. The rule of thumb is you're not allowed to step on this thing. It's bad luck. I don't know who started that, but never step on that thing. So hopefully nobody has. We have couches here. They have TVs. They have surround sound. They have the satellite dish so they can watch movies. They can DVD players. They have the iPod adapter. They listen to music. We try to provide them with everything, not too extreme, but everything to make them relax, make them feel like they've earned something, so they go out and practice hard and they play hard. Hopefully that gives us a good result in the end. Over here we have the bathrooms, very basic. The same thing with the shower heads. I think they fit about 10 if I'm not mistaken. It's very similar to the other one, although it's obviously a lot nicer with the tiling, with the green and orange. Now we're going to go upstairs. Up here is where we do a lot of the media stuff. The kids will get to a study hall area, you can call it. We also have a small meeting room for ourselves, and I'll explain it once we go in there. All right, this first room is actually a small meeting room. We use this room for a bunch of different things. We'll either have a hitters meeting only. JD will have a pitchers meeting only. We actually have this machine. Basically, in short terms, it videotapes our kids hitting or pitching. So we might come in here and show one-on-one what they're doing wrong, or JD will come in here and show some mechanic stuff to the pitchers. But it's a room for a small amount of people. Obviously, a team meeting would be somewhere else. But as you can see, I mean, the seats are unbelievable. I wish I could take one of these home. You got the U logo on there. We got the big screen on there. This ProMirror, it's called the ProMirror, actually can connect to the TV, so you can see it HD on the TV. And you have the DVD player and the VHS player. A lot of times before games, the hitters will come up here, and we'll have some tape on the pitcher that day. So they'll sit down and they'll watch it on a big screen and away from the pitchers. A lot of times the pitchers are just doing something else, so they'll get to focus on it for just 10-15 minutes. And get to see what they're going to see out there that day, and actually gives you a sense of comfort in the fact that you know what you're going to see that day. Nothing's going to surprise you. So this room definitely gets put into use quite often. This next room, which I don't have a key to get into because I forgot to program my key. It's basically a little study hall area. It's a room with 4 computers and a couple printers. The whole intent of this room was the idea of a lot of times in the fall, these kids have to wake up early to work out, and they also have classes really early, 8-9 o'clock in the morning. So they don't have much time in between. So they have to print something out. They have to print out one of their papers. They have to get some research online and print it out. Whatever the case is, they can always just come up here after they shower, after working out, and they can print it out, or they need to go online and find something accessible for them. All they need to do is swipe in their card, and they can print out, they can Google, they can do whatever they need to do. And it's also quiet in there, so if they need to, read something, whether it's, a book or whatever the case is, and they don't have, it's not quiet at home, they can do so in there. This is the big room, very similar to the small room, but obviously a lot bigger. A lot of our team meetings are held up here. Press conferences after games are held up here. Functions are held here. People rent this room out for their businesses outside of baseball. I'd say like 2 years ago they did the 1999 National Championship reunion, and basically, they had a meet and greet up here. And as you can see from these chairs, they're actually removable. They have wheels on them, so you can put them towards the wall and have tables here with food or whatever the case may be. So it's basically a multi-purpose room. Same thing as the other rooms. It's got a big screen TV. It's got the satellite. You can put ESPN on or whatever you got, whatever the kids want to see. And they're not doing anything. The DVD's there. Plug in a computer. If you're going to show a PowerPoint, our nutritionist comes in here and shows a PowerPoint on what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating. Stuff like that gets done up here. It's a lot easier to get the kids' attention in a small room like this as opposed to downstairs in that big locker room where I start wandering around. In here is small enough, yet big enough to put all the kids in here, and their focus is on the person who's talking, whether it's coach, the nutritionist, or guest speaker, which he brings a lot in. There's 4 suites up here. There's 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and in the middle is where the press boxes are. Roger Tomas is one of our former players, big-time contributor here to the university. We have A-Rod has one, and the Damari family has one. Excuse me. And there's one that's still open. Well, like I said, in here is the press box. Over here is where J-Ro sits. I think J-Ro's been doing our games for 30-something years. He does baseball, basketball, football, anything that has to do with the university, you'll see him out there. I think he even does some high school games. He's very good. The newspaper will sit over here. A lot of times the newspaper writer will actually sit outside. I think they find it more enjoyable, get to hear the crowd and what they're saying. Get to enjoy the game a little bit more, maybe less distraction in here. So they'll sit out there, and there's a little area out here that they all can sit in. Just right along here, there's also seats, like I was mentioning before. We go this way. I was mentioning before, this is one of the 4 suites that there is, and you can... it's basically a lease for 10 years, and it comes with these 10 seats, and inside you can watch whatever you want, whether it's this game or whether it's regular TV for your kids. If they're young and they want to watch cartoons and you want to enjoy the game, they can sit in there. There's sofas in there, there's drinks in there, there's a little kitchen area in there. Very, very upgraded compared to what it used to be. We didn't have any suites before this building was built. Like I said, you're talking about the highest point of the ballpark, and you're talking about a great view. If you really look at it, you're not missing anything in the game. There's nothing that's gonna hinder you from watching the game. You sitting from up here, right down here is where the general admissions is. Like I was saying before, it's basically the same thing. It's one of those things that you got to come out here and see it for yourself to enjoy it, to really understand. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I've shown you, from everything that we've done to everything that we're going to do, hopefully, not only on the field, but off the field. And hopefully, if you haven't come to a game, you have to experience it. Hopefully, you will soon. Like I said before, it's something that, unless you come out here, nobody can tell you how good of a feeling it is to watch not only college baseball, but the University of Miami baseball. It's one of those things that when you come out here, whether you're a young kid or you're in your 60s, it still gives you butterflies watching your University of Miami Hurricanes baseball players take on the ACC opponents.